On this episode of the Who Is This podcast, brought to you by Double R Communications and Sierra Pacific Mortgage of the Gila Valley, we had the great opportunity to talk to one of our really good friends, Derek Christensen. Derek is also from the Gila Valley, born and raised here. He's now living up in Mesa, though, and has a business up there. His business is Breezy Duct Cleaning. He cleans air dryer vents and air ducts in your house, improving all of our quality of life and our quality of air. So we got to hear a cool story about how that all kind of came to be. And yeah, it was just a really fun conversation. So we hope you enjoy. You guys just getting into town or what?
Yeah, just came down for the weekend.
Good old 24th of July.
Pioneer Day.
Yeah.
We always explain it to people up in the valley, and they're like, "You're going down for what? It's Pioneer Day. What's that?"
Yeah.
It's funny.
Mormon days.
The Mormon, yeah.
Dude, Stevie didn't even know what it was.
Oh, really?
I was like, "Are you gonna go to the picnic or fireworks?" She was like, "For what?" I was like, "For Pioneer Days." And she's like, "What?"
That's kind of crazy.
I was like, "Yeah, and then once I started kind of talking to her about it, she's like, "Oh," she's like, "Yeah, I don't think she's gonna go." But I was like, "They call it Mormon Days, but it's obviously everyone's invited."
High school, it was what, the dance? There was a big dance, right?
There's still a dance.
There's still a dance,
dude. I looked forward to that dance in middle school.
Oh, yeah.
That was good times. I mean,
It's like the only time you saw a girl during the summer if they didn't meet them at the swimming pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of nothing happening either once you saw them.
Yeah.
just staring at
I'll
each other.
text you, but I won't dance with you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't have a cell phone.
That's true. I'll call you. I'll call your landline.
I'll call you.
when did you get a cell phone?
And I'll pray that your dad doesn't answer, but he always does.
When did
Like,
you
you're breathing
when
on
did you
the
get a cell phone?
I think like freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Really? Well, no, that makes sense because I got mine in 8th grade, I think. One of the Nokia brick phones.
Yeah.
And I remember texting a girl. No, I called her. I called a girl on her cell phone. And as I'm talking to her, like all of a sudden her dad gets on the phone and she's like, "Hey, why are you calling her cell phone?" And I was like, "Why does she have a cell phone? You don't want me to call it." He was just giving me a hard time, but
I remember me and McKay and Demi all got our cell phones the same Christmas, and like I was a little pissed because Demi got hers a year before me, technically.
right.
And McKay was pissed
Age-wise.
because
Had to hold out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Tommy shared one, and it was like, I mean, growing up, yeah, just always sharing things. And ours was an LG something. He had it in his pocket, and he was running, he tripped and like broke the screen on his day of carrying it. I was so mad. I was like, dude,
That sucks. Do you guys have to share a lot of stuff?
oh yeah.
Everything?
Yeah. I was literally telling my wife on the way down here that any trip we went on, one of us was double buckling. Like, you had a Suburban, 9 kids, like, there's only 8 seats, so 2 people are sharing.
At what point did he just start sitting on your lap? Because you're quite a bit bigger than him.
It's normally Tommy and Callie. They're the 2 smallest.
Uh-huh.
So I hit puberty, get a little bigger. Tommy stayed the same. And so, yeah, those 2 were just always like, they were like Siamese twins on road trips, just stuck together.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You guys had the first and only triple bunk bed I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
built it in the room and tore it down in the room. One way in, one way out.
Dude, that house, if you've known the Christiansens as long as me and you have, we've been able to witness the evolution of the house, dude. I remember back when it was just the side on the left and there was a walkway between the two, and it was like dude, it was like the secret garden.
Yeah.
It was that was a
Every
good
time
hiding
you go
spot.
back there, you're like, I've been looking for this basketball forever. Like, you always find something hidden in the bushes.
Yeah. And then because then your dad bought the neighbor's house, right? That land, because I remember there used to be like a white fence.
Yep.
We'd always have to go and get basketballs that bounced over the fence, and that
Yes.
guy was scary.
He had like killer geese.
He had some
too.
crazy geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You can make a movie about that. It was like, you peek over, and his wife would be out there in a
They already
wheelchair.
did. It's called the Sandlot.
Yeah, I know. This dude, I swear, he popped a couple balls of ours. We saw.
He was mean, dude.
Yeah, he was mean. Old man neighbor. I don't even know his name, but
Me and Trent and Jace Beals would always play trampoline basketball back there, and dude, I would pay a large amount of money to find the video that we had, and it's got to be. I think we used Trent's camera, so it's got to be somewhere at your guys' house. But we would video. I mean, we thought we were pretty cool, dunking and stuff, and there was one where we were videoing it, and me and Trent were talking on camera or something, and Jace was in the background dunking, and he's just bouncing the ball. It's like in the corner, so you can't, if you don't see it unless you're looking for it. And he's bouncing, and he's like Monster Jam, and dunks it, and then he's bouncing, the ball rolls underneath him, and he lands on it, and just it's so funny, dude. But good times.
yeah, dude, it was fun.
And then now it's
That's just
you guys got a cool layout there.
Compound out
Yeah.
there. So the grandkids are out there tearing up the turf, and yeah, dude, it's fun. It's fun being home.
Chad and Brenda wouldn't have it any other way, though.
I know. They designed it all for the kiddos,
Yeah.
so makes visiting fun.
Yeah. Well, right on.
Derek, welcome
Yeah.
to the Who Is This podcast.
Hey, I'm
This
happy
is-
to be here.
This is the second Christensen brother we've had
yeah.
on the podcast. Hopefully not the last.
Yeah.
We should
Trent?
make it a point. Wait. We should make it a point to have everyone on your family before Trent.
That'd be a little salty about that.
Yeah.
Can I just ask real quick? I haven't seen a pencil like that since I was
Oh.
probably in high school. Where did that come from?
It was just sitting here,
Do you
dude.
know
awesome.
any good pencil
Yeah.
flips?
No.
You don't do that?
I mean, I can do. No. Do you?
Yeah, dude, I got
I
one.
can do that. Is
That's
all.
like the perfect length for a good pencil flip.
That's all I can do.
The perfect what?
just a perfect length.
Oh, dude,
A little rusty.
Dude, I haven't done it in a long time. Nah.
I can do poker chip flips.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Little pencil.
Derek, how
So-
are you, man?
yeah.
How's things going?
I'm great. Just chilling. Got 3 kids, staying busy, dad life.
Let's talk about the dad life.
Okay.
Because your Instagram and stuff is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's something dad.
Comedy Derek.
Comedy
Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
that's
used to be
Pop.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that started. I was just being this little character, like this new dad, figuring stuff out, and the idea was to be this character and just make videos, but it was exhausting being a character. Then I was just like, I'm just gonna be me, be myself, just make funny videos. So, and just changed it more to like of a comedy username, really, but just kept the content the same.
Mhm.
So, but
It's definitely my top 5 follows on.
good. I'm happy to hear, because I mean, I post some stuff. I'm like, why did I even post that? But I'm like, I'm just posting to post, you know, like. And it's always when I come down to Thatcher, I'll get some random person like, "Oh my gosh, I love your stuff," and then I'll be like, "Oh my gosh," like. Then I'll leave like, "Who was that?"
Yeah.
Like, oh, they saw that? Like, yikes! And then grandmas and aunts, uncles. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should tone down a little bit on some stuff. But it's whatever,
That's
I
what
like.
I
I love being in the gray. There's the black. There's the line. I like being.
You got to be in the
Right in
gray.
the gray,
Because
you know?
honestly, it's more of just you got to be who you are, man.
Exactly, that's
And
what it is.
Sometimes there'll be stuff that is very dark gray. So I gotta ask, like, how does Sonora?
I think it's just the eye roll. Honestly, I don't think I'm on her algorithm. So like,
She doesn't even see
I'll
it.
post some of this stuff. I'm like, I'll be like at dinner, be like, oh my gosh, people are loving this story, or people are loving this, and she's like, oh, I didn't even see it. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for the support,
It
babe.
was a couple of weeks ago. Like, I got all these notifications when I like got on, and it just said Sonora liked this. I'm like, did you just barely find my Instagram? And she's like, oh my gosh, I hadn't visited for a while. She's always on it, so I'm just not in her algorithm, I guess. But
I also have to ask, do your in-laws follow you?
so they do, and yeah, like I'm good for my in-laws because I say some things, I do some things, and my brother-in-laws are always like on the side, like, dude, I wish I could be you. Like, I wish I could say those things.
That's
and,
a great Cody impression.
Yeah,
Dude. That's
it's just like, how does Derek get away with all this stuff? And it's one of those I am who I am, you know. It's like I held the filter for like maybe 2-3 years being a part of, you know.
Just slowly break down those walls, man.
It was exhausting. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let loose.
There was one the other day where you like leaned over and you're wearing.
Am I balding? Yeah.
Dude, I cannot help but think, like, I wonder what Lisa thinks about this.
I know.
Dude, even if she doesn't admit it, I'm sure she loves it.
I hope that thought doesn't deter you.
Yeah, just being who you, just being myself, you know? It's like,
You know what drives me crazy is when like I'll be like, oh, that's a good idea. Like, this is a good video. And then we'll make it, and then nobody likes it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we just did one where Davis got to throw mail hard in my face.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about, anyways, junk mail after you buy a house, and just didn't pop off like I wanted it to, man.
People just like, and I think we get in our heads about posting sometimes because some of my older videos I know would be like a hit if I went back and like re-edited them. Because a lot of it's more like short form, like everything just has to be super quick. Like before, it used to be like 2-3 minute videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
But some people, they'll literally just like post the same video like 4 or 5 times, and it's like the 5th time they post it that it just pops off. So it just could just be like timing
And posting it. Yeah.
I was just giving it another go,
Dude,
like
I was
keeping it in rotation.
just on this guy's page, and he wrecked a golf cart.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that was funny. And I went to his page. I'm not even kidding. Like, his last 10 videos were a different iteration of him editing that golf cart wreck.
Yeah. It's just letting it hit. I mean, I've tried to like look into when are the best times to post, like literally like times of the day.
Yeah.
You know, like what days are best. Because you can go on your insights and like it'll tell you your demographic and like just all this stuff. But I'm like, I might as well just have fun, post stuff when it can. If it pops, it pops. If not, whatever. But yeah, it's
Well, I for one am a huge fan.
Yeah.
I hope you never change.
Yeah.
Well, and now you get to kind of do it with your business too.
Yes.
Do some funny videos with your business.
I have a lot planned for the business, but it's just like I'm kind of like a one-man band right now, so it's just, I mean, it takes a lot to film stuff for social media, and then you could pay someone to edit or whatever. But yeah, that's like another aspect I need to get into more is getting on camera for the business.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about it, tell us a little bit about the business and how it came to be.
Yeah, so I have a air duct cleaning business. We do commercial and residential duct cleaning for your HVAC system and also dryer vent cleanings. And started it back in 2023, that ended October 2023. And so, yeah, I've just been I've got a few like helpers that help me on some jobs. I've got one guy he's taking a break right now. He's doing summer sales, but he'll come back and he'll come back next month and start being with me again full time. But yeah, just up in the valley cleaning ducts.
What gave you that idea? Because that's a super smart idea. I've never heard of a company that does that before.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're out there,
but
probably not a ton of competition, right? But something that everybody needs.
So I, back in 2020 and 2021, I was a loan officer, right? I was doing what you guys are doing. That's probably when you got licensed too, right?
Yeah.
Me and Davis have had the same.
We've had the same career trajectory for a long time.
Well, and so here's what's interesting. Davis is always looking for a new idea for a new business. So I was going to say, don't be surprised if all of a sudden Davis has an air duct cleaning business then.
Yeah. So go back to 2020, 2021. I was a loan officer. I was working from home. My schedule was super flexible. Rates were like, it was the best time to be in LO. Right? That's all I ever known.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wanted the service done on my house just because I'm asthmatic and, had 2 little kids in the house. And I was Googling some companies that would come out and do it. And like I went to all the websites and it just looked like some like crackheads with a shop vac that were going to show up at my house and be there for 3 hours. And so I was like, I never got it done. And then in 2023 is, you know, I was still a loan officer and business was just super slow, right? Got fired from text from some mortgage company I got recruited from to like start this branch thing. Didn't really pan out, and so
they fired you over text.
Yeah, some guy
Dude,
fired
I remember
me.
you posted that.
What?
I actually recently posted
I haven't heard
that.
that story. That's crazy.
But yeah, so it was like me and like 5. I started at Rocket Mortgage, got licensed, worked there for like 8 months, and then all my buddies, like once we got our licenses, I kept a tight knit with some guys there, and they just kind of started dispersing, going to different companies, different pay structures, different leads, and so I kind of kept in contact with a few dudes that liked what they were doing, and so I switched over. Things were great, and then rates started to go up, and then that company started letting people go. I was one of them. They literally went from like 100 LOs to like 10. Like
Wow.
they just started cleaning house just because it was just a numbers game at that point. I was like, all right, whatever. So
I
then
think a lot of companies went through.
I
that
think
at
a lot
that
of people
time.
just started
Yeah.
cutting.
Well, what's the statistic?
Yeah.
I posted it. It was like
Yeah, I remember.
in
From, like,
20
400.
like 400,000.
renewal?
Yeah, from like 2022 to 2024. This isn't going to be exact, but it was something like there was 400,000 licensed loan originators down to like 90,000.
Yeah.
Which is
So
crazy.
Huge, right?
Yeah.
And so I renewed my license in 2023. I think I still have my license. I did it for 2024. We're in 2025, right? Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. Maybe I don't have my license anymore. I don't know. Don't ask me for a loan. But yeah, so 2023 was just like a rough year, like mentally. You know, I was just like, what am I going to do? I got licensed to sell life insurance as well. And I was just broke, dude. I was just like, something's got to happen. So the real story, you guys want to hear the real story?
That's why people listen to this podcast. They come here for the truth.
Okay. You might have to cut this out, but no, I'm just kidding. No, so yeah, so I get fired from Tex, and I just laughed because the dude that did it was just like, it's like, dude, this dude's chicken,
Yeah.
you know? And I was just like, I look at my wife, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know? And I was kind of just like, I'll figure something out, because I've always figured something out, right? But at that point, I was literally just like, I had no clue what to do. Like, and it was a scary thought, because you got mouths to feed, and it had already been a rough year financially, just because I think I sold one loan in 2023, and that was in January. Here I am getting let go in August, and so Sonora started picking up a lot of shifts.
She's a nurse, right?
Yeah, she's a dental hygienist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So she had been like pulling more than her weight around the house, you know, helping pay the bills, things like that. And then, you know, we had a miscarriage as well, which was super tough on us. And so we throw that in the mix.
Is that same year?
Yeah, same
Wow.
year. So it was just getting hit from all directions. And so here I am now jobless, and I was like, okay, I got to figure something out. And so I took some magic mushrooms. I took some magic mushrooms, and I remember in my bedroom, took them, okay? Sonora comes in, she shuts the door, locks it, and I was just like, dude, she's about to just rip into me right now. I was literally on Indeed, like, scrolling, and I was just like, I think I typed in loan officer. I was like, you know, just seeing like if I could find, and I even interviewed with you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sending out another resume for another like loan officer job, it just seemed like it was so far from who I would like wanted to be. I just felt like I had this idea of who I wanted to be in the future, and then not necessarily anything about loan officer, but just like that field of work. My heart just wasn't in it anymore. And if I did, you know, I'd just be doing it just to kind of like
And I'll interject really quick.
Yeah.
If your heart's not in it, it's a tough career
tough.
to do. So I completely understand that. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember,
I will say it did kind of hurt that
yeah.
I couldn't get you.
Because
I
you guys
wanted to work with you.
Yeah,
so
you guys
bad.
extended the offer, and I was just like, I could do this, and I would have given it my all. I would have come in, I would have, put work in, because I'm not afraid of hard work, but I was just like, I can't. Like, it just did not seem like something that was going to last long for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that to you
Which
guys.
we appreciate that too.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
And so, anyway, so I'm scrolling on Indeed. Sonora comes in, locks the door, and she just starts bawling, like looking at me. And I was just like, coming up on these mushrooms, okay? And so I lost like my ability to like talk.
Did she know that you had, or did she think you were
She
just
knew that
looking
I
at
had done them before,
Uh-huh.
but she didn't know I was on them now.
at that moment? Okay.
And so, she's like, she didn't come in and rip into me like a lecture or anything. She was kind of just like, what are you going to do? Like, what's your plan? She's like, I have a good job and I can work as long as we need to, but like, we wanted to start like having another kid,
Mm-hmm.
She's like, if we see a kid in our future, I can't be working full time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just like came in and just delivered, like, she just basically was saying, in a nutshell, was just like, you have all this talent. Like, and I've told her like all these things that I've wanted to do. I've wanted to start a landscaping company. I wanted to start a social media, like marketing, because I'm a creative person. I loved, and there was some.
That's why we were interested in hiring you as an LO.
Yeah.
Because you're outgoing, you're
Yeah.
good at building relationships,
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
And so she basically just came in and said, you have all these talents, you have all these gifts, you have all these ideas, but you're just not doing anything. And so like, it was pretty good in that moment that I wasn't able to talk. And I bet my sober self would have been like, thrown a wall up and just been like, just listened to everything she had to say. And I could have got pissed off when she left and just been like, whatever. But I literally just sat there and took everything. And I felt like her whole message coming from love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just this super powerful moment. And then she gets out and shuts the door. And then I just start bawling. I lost it. I throw myself on my bed and I was literally just like, I just kind of go off and I have like this super, super, super crazy, vivid vision. And I get chills thinking about it and a little emotional just thinking about it again. But I was on my bed and just crying and eyes closed, and I go off and I picture this. I was a little baby. I was a little child, and I was in this hospital room, just a white room, just like this, small white crib. I was only in a diaper, and I was like sharing consciousness with this baby. This baby was just sitting there, laying, crying, and I was just like eye in the sky kind of thing, seeing everything. And in my mind, I just kept thinking, like, isn't someone gonna help this kid? Like, isn't someone gonna, like, this kid's crying and needs help for something. It needs some type of like father figure or guidance. And looking at the baby, the help didn't need to come from me because I was the baby, right? I was like sharing the mind with it. And I was just thinking like, this baby needs some guidance from like a father figure. And I don't know if that meant like God or if it meant like earthly dad or me or some type of masculine energy or something. And so I'm having this vision of this baby just crying. And then I'm laying down and my phone is literally right by my head. And it starts to vibrate. And then I open my eyes, I come out of everything, and I just look at it, and it says dad. On the phone screen, it says dad. So then I swipe, I open up, I don't even say hello, and my dad just said, hey, I have this feeling I should call you.
Wow.
And then I just start bawling even more. And he's like, are you safe? Yeah, I'm safe. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. And he's like, start the business. That's literally all he said. Because I had talked to him like a few weeks before, like just throughout the rough patches, like I should do this. Maybe I should do this. And I looked into it a little bit. But getting that phone call from my dad at that moment with that vision paired up, everything was just boom, 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 changed my life. Literally the next day was like, what are we going to name it? What's the logo going to look like? What equipment do we need? I knew nothing about anything, but it was just like every day after that experience, I just I put myself in action. You know, I just like, all right, time to just put all your gifts and talents that you have, time to just put it out there and see what you can do. And so,
wow,
that's the real story. The story I tell everybody's like, oh, I just saw it being a good opportunity, and kind of, you know.
Dude, that's such a better story. That's so much.
But
I mean,
yeah, dude, changed my life, and been in business over a year, and it's almost 2 years, and it's just been a huge blessing.
That's awesome.
That is
So, I mean, and that the coolest thing about it is like when you bet on yourself and things like you see things working out, right? It's like I see a lot of God in my life, and I don't know if I was ever looking for it before, but it's just now it's like, I don't know. I just, every job I get, it's, you know, there's times where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do next week, but that phone rings, you know, and jobs come through, and it's just like, you just can't be scared. You just gotta just work, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was definitely expecting I just saw this opportunity.
did a lot of market research, and I noticed that definitely not a market research guy.
Well, but when your competition is a bunch of meth heads.
Yeah, that was
sounds
one
like...
thing. And what's nice too is like I get a lot of jobs from AC companies because they don't offer it, but their customers are asking, and they don't want to refer, because some AC companies do it, some don't. And
I was going to say, I would imagine it's more of a side thing.
Yeah.
You know, not like this is what
when
my
business
company
is slow,
does.
then we'll do it. But those AC companies aren't going to refer out their jobs to other AC companies.
Then they'll
'cause
steal their
yeah,
clients.
exactly. So it's like AC companies, restoration companies, realtors, pretty much anybody, you know, anybody that likes to breathe. So, but yeah, it's been cool. Breezy Duct Cleaning.
How'd you come up with the name?
I actually started it with my brother-in-law, and maybe ChatGPT was involved or some type of website generator, and I think we're just like Breezy, and then breathe easy, call Breezy. Like, oh,
That's pretty good.
Sick. Sounds good.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so
you've been in business since 2023.
2023. Yep, got a van on the road.
Is your brother-in-law not involved anymore?
No, we split up. He took a different route. He's going to college, right? He's going to be a chiropractor.
Okay.
So, yeah, we had a nice clean breakup, and just his heart wasn't in it, and I was just, this is all I have, dude. I'm ready to go, and kind of just like parted ways and made it work. So super grateful for that. But yeah, it was
Always a little scary going into business with family.
Oh, I know.
dude.
Yeah, it's like I've talked to other people that have started businesses where, like, with their in-laws or other people, and they literally had everything out in writing. Like, if I die, then this is. I'm like, dude, we did none of that. We just started it, got the equipment, truck, trailer, his truck, grandma's trailer, new equipment. Let's see what happens, you know. And we just started going, and yeah, it's been awesome.
That is awesome. That story, dude. That's freaking
It's
sweet.
wild, dude. I get reminded. I always just go back to thinking of like how the whole thing started, and it's just like, it was just kind of one of those. It was like the first moment where I was like, hey, you know what you're made of? Like, because there's always like the fear of starting something. What if? Right? It's always a negative what if, but there's no one ever does like the positive what ifs.
Right.
You know, what if it actually does work out? You know?
Dude, and it's so important to focus on those ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Because you guys just made like a big move recently, didn't you? How has that been for you guys?
it's been awesome. Yeah, we, last September, the company we were working for sold out on the corporate level.
Okay.
So that kind of started a domino effect of certain things. And over the next couple of months, me and Davis had a lot of conversations and talked to a lot of different companies. And in November, decided to, make a jump and with Sierra Pacific now, and they've been great. But yeah, it was scary. I mean, how many times did we go back and forth? Like, we're like, let's just stick it out and see how this new company. But we didn't want to be forced into bed with a company that we had no say in whatsoever.
Exactly.
Like, literally, the Thursday before, we were at our corporate huge celebrations, 35 years, huge celebration. Our branch, had just accepted the award for the top branch in the company in units. You know, we closed more loans than any other branch in the company. This company had been around for 35 years. So, you know, we were on a high. Like we were ghosted the year before that. So, you know, that whole next year, as far as winning that same award, they kind of, anyways, we got shafted big time. Anyways,
salty.
Yeah, very salty. So we were like, okay, this year it's not even gonna be close. We're gonna get the most units. So we got that. We were all super excited, and literally that was on a Thursday. That next Monday, our boss at the time calls and says, "Hey, man, mortgage just sold." And we were like, "What?"
No, it didn't even call, dude. It was an email.
Was it a text?
Oh yeah, I think they sent the. Well, I'm trying to remember when he called me. I think David called me and said,
"I never got a phone call. I got an email."
David.
Well, I think he called. I think he called right after that email was sent, and then I walked into because I was in my truck.
Yeah.
And I walked into the office. I said, "Davis, come here." And that's when I was like, "Dude." So, anyways,
yeah.
So that's, you know, and no hard feelings or anything. You know, I still have a great relationship with David, but it was just, it was one of those things where that set a domino effect and opened our eyes to a few other things. And, you know, we went back and forth on what we should do and finally decided we need to make this change. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been great.
That's awesome.
So,
you didn't have to take mushrooms for it.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should have. But how cool for you to have that, you know, you can pinpoint that specific feeling, that specific instance that happened, so that if you ever get, I mean, I'm sure you've done this, you know, things have been slow or, you know, things are getting hard, like you can look back and use that as motivation to be like, you know what, no, this is supposed to happen.
Like that's one of probably the only moments in my life, if I look back on it, that I knew exactly what I should have been doing. You know, like this is the next step. Like, there's no other option. I had a similar moment, not a similar experience, but a similar moment that I can think back in my life when it was more of, so I had been, this is stupid, but I had been elk hunting for it was probably day 12, like 12 days straight. Like I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted because it wasn't working out. And something had happened. Anyways, I was super frustrated. And up during the hunt and up until the point, it was when I was still working for the town of Thatcher. Yeah.
And I had got my loan originator's license and I was doing both at the same time. And so I had been trying to decide, like, I'm too spread thin right now. I need to either go all, you know, both feet in being a loan originator or stop and just focus on, you know, working for the town. So I've been having those questions in my mind, but anyways, on this hunt, I was physically exhausted. I think there's something to be said when you're just drained. Yeah. Like you're more susceptible to things.
Yeah, you're giving everything.
And I was just physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. And I remember I was sitting on this bridge, waiting for my uncle to come pick me up. It was pitch black. I had gone on a stalk on some elk. It didn't work out again. Yeah. So I was sitting on this bridge waiting for my uncle to drive around and pick me up. And kind of just hit me, like the same thing. Like I was crying on the bridge. Like, and I'm not a crier either. Yeah. And I'm like, and at that point is when I was like, I've got to go, you know, full force into being a loan originator, because if I don't, I'll always have the what if of what could have been.
Exactly.
And so, you know, that's an instance in my story, in my timeline, that I look back, I'm like, yeah, this is, you know, what I was supposed to do. And even though sometimes I might not like it, because it is a hard career. I mean, you've experienced it. But it's very rewarding. It's been a great change. So it's good to have those moments.
I wish I had an experience like that. I just kind of fell into it.
What makes you?
But I've been super happy. Like, it's been great. Yeah.
What makes you guys think that, like, you guys see a lot of success? It seems like. What do you think you guys see a lot of success? Like, I don't know. It's just
like what? Like what's your question? Like what do you mean?
I don't know. I just feel like everybody's different in every field. You know, like what do you guys contribute your success to? You know,
Davis.
I'll answer first. I feel like for me it has been. I guess I didn't start being a loan officer when I got my license. I started. I mean, I've been networking all my life, so I've had a lot of relationships with people for a long time, even though, you know, we weren't working in the same industry. And so when I came into being a loan officer, a lot of those relationships translated very smoothly. And, you know, I had a lot of real estate agents call me and be like, I was so happy to hear you were becoming a loan officer, you know, because so that, I mean, that definitely has helped. And then I think just building on that, you know, reaching out to new folks all the time. So
yeah, and I think it's with, you know, anyone that's starting their own business or whatever the product is that you're selling, or you know, whatever it is you do. I think it's if your true intentions are to help people, and it's genuine, and obviously I always kind of roll my eyes at my own answer there, because obviously I'm not doing this for free. Yeah. But I really do get complete joy in helping a first-time home buyer that thought that they never were going to qualify for a loan. Like, I freaking love that. And so, yeah, I mean, I think when you're passionate about what you're doing and you generally like what you're doing and you like helping people, I think that all the things that come with that is kind of what helps people be successful. Yeah. You know?
That's what I loved about it. I mean, I remember picking up the phone, calling people, and they're like, oh, I've already been denied here, been denied there. I'm like, no, hold on. I got some stuff up my sleeve. Yeah. Let me look at your credit report. Okay, pay this down a little bit. And then your score goes up. And then you put them in a way better situation when no one else would give them like the time of day, right?
Yeah. Because they're just trying to move on to the next loan.
Yeah, and I mean, the easy one. They want the clean, you know.
And cherry picker.
Which, I mean, the
still love those.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll take those all day. And it's interesting because, like, I feel like that's kind of what Rocket Mortgage is. They want all the easy loans.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, dude, I think in the boom, I did. So at Rocket, you would send out the application, get all the docs back, send it to underwriting. That is considered like a folder receive. That's what like your goal is. I think I did 60 in 1 month, like during the refi boom. I was licensed in like 14 states, so you just do a lot of volume. But I don't know how many of them closed. But
see, that's the other interesting thing between like a company like Rocket and they don't talk to you anymore. Like you originate it and then pass it off to the next person. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then one of the other brokers I worked for, we actually had to follow it because we got paid on closing. So it's like, you make sure everything's clean at the beginning, you make sure underwriting's clean, the whole process, inspection, like everything. And so, yeah, it's a very rewarding job what you guys are doing. It's fun helping people.
Did you ever, because I guess when you worked as an LO, it sounds like it was pretty different than how we do it. Did you ever get to go to like a closing? And
No. I was all virtual. Like, right. I think Arizona, Washington, California, maybe some states down south. Yeah. But yeah, I never met half the people that I did loans for. Yeah. Like I'd have a few people from my ward or whatever reach out and for refis and stuff. But I hardly ever did any purchases though, because I was doing it during the refi boom. Right. But
which refinances are a great way to learn loans. Yeah. Because you don't have to, you're not dealing with as many individuals involved, you know, real estate agents and sellers and, you know, all that. So it's easier to learn the loan process without as much pressure. Yeah. So
get some good at bats.
Yeah, exactly.
Great analogy.
At bat. Yeah. I'm known for my analogies.
I've never, I mean, this might be a weird question. Yeah. But I've never heard how you and Sonora kind of got your flame going. Because I know, I mean, you guys were friends. So you graduated together, right?
Yeah, we're
okay, you're in the same class. Yeah. And I know, so you've known each other your whole lives, but did you never date in high school, did you?
We never dated in high school. My guy friend group, pretty much everybody in my guy friend group dated all of her girlfriend group. And we always just hanging out on weekends and I mean, we grew up together, right? And then she sent someone off on a mission. I came home first. You know how that goes. But we have this awkward friend around girls, and I'm going to name drop, Dallin Stevens. Dallin was awkward, dude. Like,
oh my gosh.
after he came home from a mission, especially like before, that he came home and Dallin's one of my good friends, and Sonora obviously was friends with Dallin, and so we're at EA, and both from home from our missions, and there were some girls from not from Thatcher who didn't know Dallin, so Dallin had a clean slate to work with, right? So Dallin is just trying to take his pick of all these girls to go on dates with, and I was just like, I'm not letting this kid go alone. Like, I had to be the wingman, and I can't just be the third wheel, So be like Dallin and his date, and then I'll be like, I'll text Sonora, like, hey, Sonora, like, just come be my date. I have to make sure, I got to keep Dallin inside the bumper.
Got to babysit down.
Yeah,
That's so
it's
funny.
not like every day, like hyping him up and whatnot. And I don't even know if all that work got him a girlfriend or not, but so yeah, me and Sonora just started doing these double dates with Dallin, and we eventually found ourselves like the date would end, me and Sonora and Dallin would go back to the game room at our house, and then we started me and Sonora kind of becoming a thing, and now we're just waiting for Dallin to leave, So like I'd do like the fake oh, I'm tired, like he would leave, she would leave, he would leave, and then she would come back, and so we really kind of just not pretended, but we just started dating each other on these little dates just to kind of do these double dates with some friends. And then,
dude, that could almost be a Lifetime movie.
I know.
I'm pretty sure I've watched that movie before.
Yeah. So yeah, then we just we took this trip to Utah, went to General Conference, super spiritual experience. No, I'm just kidding. We just went up to conference, came home, and then I swear it was her. She says it was me, but I swear she was just like, let's just get married. And I was like, the thought of that just sounded good. I was like, sick. Let's do it. And then I woke up the next day and still had the same thought and just kind of all right. So yeah, we've known each other our whole life, but going on those dates kind of, I was like, dang, this girl's actually pretty cool.
That's a cool story.
So
that's funny.
Yeah, it's nice.
So here's what I want to ask Sonora the same question.
Yeah.
Be like, just to see if it's. I liked Derek my whole life.
Yeah.
He finally, or maybe she didn't even know. Yeah, he never even told me that this was a fake date, so that we could go. I thought
he was really good. He was like, no. We're just props for Dallin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super cool and it's fun. Being from the same place, home for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Always bounce back and forth and. Grew up with my in-laws and just, a lot of history.
I wanted to ask you about going back to Breezy. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, got off topic, guys.
Well, speaking of, you're from here, but your business is in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a lot of work other than the Phoenix Valley?
I've made a few trips down here to do jobs, and I have people hit me up here to do it. I'd love to throw a van down here sometime if I just need someone to run it. I've got nephews that are coming home from missions and stuff, and if they express any interest, then I might do something like that. Because I think I'd have to talk to some companies down here and get some good referral partners and stuff. But
yeah, as soon as you said realtors, I'm like that would be a sweet closing gift.
Yeah,
hey,
and that's what
a
lot of realtors. I've got a few that will buy it for a closing gift, or they'll just at least refer me, and the borrower or customer pays for it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
we could even put that in as if you do, if you close with us,
we'll do this for you.
Well, that's
for
what
free.
AC companies do. They're like, hey, if you get a new unit through us, we'll throw in a free duct cleaning, and then they just pay me. It can just builds more value. But the ducts that I've cleaned down here are the dirtiest I've seen, though.
Really?
They're
probably because no one's getting
a dirt clot in there. It's just nasty.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
We're in the middle of a desert. I don't know.
And they've probably never been
Phoenix,
cleaned
but
before.
yeah.
But not so much.
I think you just
Phoenix, you're surrounded by concrete.
even just
from
tractors, dust.
and
no one
even
believes in filters.
just from where my house is.
That is crazy. Nobody changes their filters.
No one even I went to my parents' house. It was last year. I came down to do theirs. I was like, where are your filters? My dad's like, oh, it's not good for your. I'm like, dude, no. Your ducts are brown. No wonder mom can't breathe.
Well, but like, yeah, even where my house is at, because I literally in the
you're
middle
out.
of in the desert. There's so much more dust and sand like on my porch than like where my parents are in the middle of Thatcher.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm sure mine are absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and now that I'm thinking about it, all the jobs I've done have been out like just out in dirt lots, like out in Central and
Well,
Kemah
people aren't having them cleaned either.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
it's-
sure.
I mean, it's something you do. It's recommended every 3 to 5 years. Like, I remember when I cleaned my house, I shot the temperature. So I have metal ducts. There's metal like box ducts, and then there's flex ducts, which is like in normal like newer homes. I shot the temperature coming out of my unit, out of my vents. It was like, I can't remember what it was, but basically after I cleaned it and sanitized it, the air that was coming out was like 10 degrees cooler.
Really?
So you
That's
you
interesting.
typically want like an efficient system you want a 20 degree difference in split between the air that's getting sucked into the unit.
Yeah.
So from your return to your supply. And so when I measured it, I was only doing a 10 degree split, but after a cleaning, I got an extra 10 degrees coming out of it. So I guess it was a 10 degree split. But yeah, it's like
That's crazy. I don't think of it helping the cool the air down. You just think of the quality of the
efficiency
air,
and
but
also air quality as well. And there's UV lights you can install and things like that too to help with air quality.
Do you ever run in, because like I installed AC units it was like my first job. Call it my first real job.
Yeah.
Even though it was, anyway, we ran into a lot of like really, really brittle flex duct. Do you ever run into that? Because that's what I always wondered when I watch your videos. I'm like,
Yeah.
it seems like some of that equipment could tear up some of this brittle.
Yeah,
flex
that's
duct.
like the biggest question I get. And I'll always do like an inspection on the ductwork before.
Oh, okay.
There's times where I get into these homes in downtown Mesa that are super old and they have fiberglass ducts. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know you want me to clean these ducts, but I'm going to be stirring around fiberglass and then you turn your system on. I'm like, I would not recommend a cleaning on this at all. They're almost impossible to clean and they're terrible for air quality.
Yeah.
Because now ducts is you got the plastic inside and then insulation, the fiberglass around it.
Right.
The fiberglass was literally, it was inside and then plastic on. It was literally
crazy,
opposite,
dude.
And so I do come across like old stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, you probably want to replace this trunk or this branch. And yeah, I also pull out I get some weird calls every now and then. Like I had a guy this was like a multi-million-dollar house out in Phoenix. I don't even know how he got my number. It was one of those, like, I think a restoration company referred him, but he's like, I got squirrels. I got squirrels under my floor. And I was like, okay, like you're calling a duct cleaning company. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, come and check it out. And like, you get out there and he had floor vents. And yeah, these squirrels had burrowed under. And what's the gravel called? There's like a special name for the gravel that you put under the foundation.
like
AB.
It's like letters. What did you say?
AB.
Yeah, AB.
Yeah.
And it had like burrowed through and like chewed through his ductwork. And he literally did have like little tunnels and channels of squirrels just running through. So I had to like go down in there and repair and clean and pull out dead rats, roof rats. And yeah, dude, I literally pop a vent off and there's like 3 just on a sticky trap, just dead.
he set the
rats.
trap but
Yeah.
forgot to
Yeah,
forgot
just
to collect.
like, oh, we trapped it,
No.
So I've seen a lot of gross, nasty stuff. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I hate squirrels, man. If I could.
Squirrels.
I hate them.
Why?
They're so destructive. Like, they look cute, but they are.
I've had same with rats. I've had rats made a nest in my truck and ate the wiring in my truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the squirrels have done that.
Yeah.
Cost me thousands of dollars.
It
stinks,
dude.
I
Little pests.
Yeah.
I remember before my brother and sister built their houses behind my parents, there used to be a big wood pile out there and had all kinds of squirrels, so we'd always go out with the BB guns and take care of the infestation.
One of the coolest things I don't know if you guys are like this, but in my head, I have the highlights of some of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. And this is one of them. We're out at my cousin's cabin on Mount Graham, the Lewis Lodge. And they have a little mouse problem. Not even a problem. It's just like you go up there a few times a year and there's always a mouse somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
And then they set traps, the little snap traps, and then there's also the glue sticky traps. And it was like me, Trent, Parker, just a bunch of cousins my age playing games. And we were like loaded with all these traps. And we were like going to get this mouse. And I see it run across the fireplace. I literally saw it move. And I was like across the living room, and I had a glue trap. They're flat. It's like flat cardboard, right? And I see this thing just, and I frisbeed it. Boom. Stuck the back legs on it. And I don't know if they remember it, but I do. And I trapped this thing. It literally was just like a frisbee, caught it on the run, and then just, I was the hero. Like,
that's amazing, dude.
It was really cool.
I've got one of those.
Yeah.
Same place too, on the mountain. I was at my cabin, and we had this retention wall. It was just made of stacked rocks.
Yeah.
And lizards lived in there. Tons of lizards. And so I would stand on our deck and just watch lizards poke their heads out, and I would throw rocks at them. Just throwing rocks at him one day. Freaking got a lizard, split his head like that. It was like, I was like,
got him.
That was awesome. Feel bad for the lizard now, but
oh, that's funny, dude.
I wish I had a good memory and could think of cool things like that.
you just never split a lizard's head and
Yeah.
know that feeling.
You don't forget that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I love like having kids now. I'm always like, if I ever want their attention, their undivided attention, I tell them a story when I was a kid. So like when I say the phrase "when I was a kid," they're like, because that's like got to be a crazy concept to your little one. Like, wait a minute, you were a kid before?
Yeah.
You know, like I just remember thinking that about my dad. I go out to Flagstaff, visit my grandparents, and my grandma's telling me all these stories about when my dad was a kid, and that was just the weirdest like concept for me. But
That's weird because I feel like your dad is a kid.
yeah, he still is a kid. But no, so I'm like always thinking about, it's fun coming down to Thatcher because I remember part of my childhood. I remember you and Trent. Do you remember the forts we would build behind like the Robinson? The Canalway, like
yeah.
It was like me, Ethan, McBride, Dakota, Tommy. We all had our own little fort back there, and I think we made like bow and arrows and stuff. And
Yeah, dude, we had a good fort back there. Me and Trent and Jace, yeah, we built a good fort back there, and actually, a little bit of a scandal later on in life. Some high schoolers would sneak over into the fort, and anyways, I'll leave it at there. But that was our fort that we built, and
like, are those balloons on the ground? Like what?
yeah, but and then they tore it all down. They planted some new trees though, so
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh,
whoever's
man.
building over there now. It's been a coveted
The
lot
canal,
for a long time.
like so many good memories. I loved growing up in the small town.
Crawdad fishing.
Crawdad fishing, dude.
I was gonna ask you. So now you live in the city. What's it
Yeah.
like,
Dude, it's
raising kids in the city compared to growing up in the town?
I don't know. I mean, the other day I gave my son his water bottle for bedtime. He took a drink and like he wanted to spit it back out in my face. He's like, I need ice in this. And I was like, bro, like I'm gonna smack you, dude. Like we didn't have ice growing up, you know. And so kids are a little bit soft, but it's fun, you know. They love coming down here, and I just think like it was fun just to get on a dirt road and go somewhere, you know.
Spotlighting,
like
dude.
a full
Yeah.
gas can and a 4-wheeler, and then you know half of a sandwich, no sunscreen, and you just go out and just your parents just hope you come back. You know?
Yeah. Well, and we were lucky having the canal right there because I mean that was one of my favorite things to do is whenever in the winter when they would drain it, so then there'd be puddles.
Yep.
We'd go around and find fish and stuff in these puddles. I remember once me and Trent underneath the high school bridge. They seemed way bigger than what they actually were because we were used to catching like little fish, but we caught these 2 catfish that were like that big. And we're like, whoa, it was the coolest thing. And then I remember another time me and Trent just caked ourselves in mud. Yeah, like head to toe, just caked ourselves in mud, and then got on our bikes and went and rode our bikes over to the baseball games because they had summer baseball going, and all these people are just like, what are these idiot kids doing? But, yeah.
It's crazy. I'll think about growing up and like as young as I can remember, I would just leave my house, and my parents had no idea, and there's no cell phones, and they had no idea where I was. I can't even imagine letting my kids go anywhere without...
Okay, literally this morning I dropped my daughters off at the EAC volleyball camp, and I drove off just like a couple of seconds before they walked in. Yeah. And I was like, I should have waited. I was nervous. I was like, what is that? You know, I talked myself through it. I was fine. But I'm the same way. Like, I'm such a worrywart with my kids.
But do you think it's any more dangerous here in the Gila Valley now than it was when we grew up, or we're just way more conscious of...
I think that's what it is. Because I mean, with social media and everything, all the things that you see
more, exposed to a lot more.
You hear a lot more of the bad that's going on, and I don't think our parents, I mean, obviously that's still going on, but
maybe
not...
we were all just ugly enough that parents like this be fine.
And maybe they worried more than we thought, but you know, but yeah, I was the same way. I mean, my parents
also too. We all come from pretty big families, and so by the time we're all the younger ones.
No, that's the truth. My curfew was turn the light off when you get home. So we know that you made it home.
Like, don't you dare wake me up.
And my parents, you know, all my older siblings, they're like,
you're the youngest.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm the youngest of 6, and so all my older siblings, you know, my parents would wait up. You have to be home at this time. Yeah, mine was like, try not to be home too much later than midnight, you know, but don't wake us up when you get home. Just turn the hall light off, and you know, you could turn it off and then leave again if you wanted to.
Yeah, walking home from EA pool, you know, I was telling my wife, I was like, I want to take the kids down to Thatcher. I want to take them to EA, the EAC pool. I want to play wall ball with them. I want to buy them a Star Crunch for 25 cents, you know.
Oh, man. Bringing back the memories.
Barefoot, you know?
Yeah, having to run from shadow to shadow.
Then you do it, and it's like not as glamorous as it was when you were a kid, because when you're a kid, it's the best thing ever.
Oh, I know.
That's how I feel about crawdad fishing. I'm like, I want to take my kids crawdad fishing, and then we start doing it. I'm like, this sucks.
Like, oh, this was a lot of fun.
This is stinky, and
dude, it makes me appreciate my dad and my parents, because like my dad would take me fishing and stuff. Yeah. And when I go fishing with my kids, I'm like, this is absolutely miserable. Because you're not fishing. All you're doing is fixing lines, and it's fun. But you know, the kids appreciate it. But I'm like, yeah, I had a really good dad. He wasn't having as much fun as I was, you know, when we were, but he did it. And
yeah, I hope that my kids are fond of their childhood as I was.
Yeah, I think like since I've been telling my kids all these stories, you know, and my mom knows about me telling all these stories, so she's like sharing some journals, and she's like, here's the one time when we gave your dad a pocket knife, and then he and Tommy just walked around and just started cutting everything, you know, like. So I think like since I've been telling my kids these stories, they've also been like super in tune with like, I'm like, you're in your childhood right now, like. You're going to be remembering, you know, when we do yard work, we go to the gas station, get a treat, you know, you're going to remember, like, I feel like they're more in tune, like, with these days now, knowing that it's not going to last forever. You know?
And I think, and as a kid, we're looking back at it as an adult now, but as a kid, everything is you know, a bigger deal, right? Like, I just thought of a story right now. Your mom used to babysit me, so I'd go over there all the time and hang out with Trent and stuff. And I remember literally thinking, like, she made a snack, and I was like, "This is the best snack ever," because it was different. Literally, all it was a saltine cracker with cream cheese on it. But I'd never had that before, and so like I went home telling my mom, I was like, "Mom, we got to get this." Like this, and so just the simplest things make big impressions on kids. So, but as adults now, you know, we're not in their shoes anymore. So.
Yep. Yeah, I love it, man. Kids are great, but these kids.
How old is your oldest?
6, almost 7.
Yeah.
So 5, 6, and then a 9-month-old. So that 5-year gap's been fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I had the same gap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Avery was 5 when we had Miles, and so you got to relearn some things.
It's funny because I want 2 kids to stop saying "Hey, Dad" every 5 seconds, but then I want 1 kid to keep saying "Dad, Dad."
Yeah,
Dad, Dad. I'm like, why did that change? You know, like these 2 are annoying me, but then this one's like perfect and everything. Like just it's just funny, just going through.
Dude, and it's so sad as they're growing up because like Miles right now, like he's starting to talk. Well, he's been talking for a while, but he's starting to talk better and better. So it's like starting to get to the point where he's not saying the things that we got used to him saying that were like super cute. Yeah. And it's sad. I'm like, no.
What are some of the phrases? I got to hear them.
So like so for butt or for bum, he says bun.
Bun.
Yeah. So it's like he'll be like, oh, my bun hurts, or mom, change my bun, like stuff like that. And one day he's not going to call it a bun anymore, and it's going to be the saddest thing ever.
It's so sad. One of my favorites from Brody's was Triceratops. It was C-Tet-Tots. C-Tet-Tots.
That's hilarious. Miles will say another thing that he does that cracks me up is, Shaylee will like be gone for like 5 minutes just downstairs, but he hasn't seen her for like 5 minutes. So she'll come upstairs and be like, "Hey Mom, where you been?" She's like, "I've just been downstairs."
I went to the bathroom, chill.
Yeah. He started to say, "Dab me up."
Dab me up.
I don't know where. I think he learned that from Kyson, but I'm like, "Hey Dad, dab me up." It's funny. I'll have him do it to you sometime.
That's funny, dude. That's like what's cool too is like you have this kid. You just have this fresh mind. You could teach him anything. Like, you could teach him to say, "Hello, how are you?" Or you'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? Like, you could create his normal, which is like, that's a big responsibility. Yep. But you could also have some fun with it too. Yeah. And I like to do a little bit of both. So.
Dude, my daughter Avery, the way that she talks, it's not as bad as it used to be, but for whatever reason, she sounds like she has like a British accent. Like I've had missionaries like at our like literally a missionary said once, like, "Does she have a British accent?" And we're like, "No, that's just how she talks." But I don't know why I started talking about it. But the other day she was like, "Yeah, I used to have a British accent." And like I'm like, "Oh, she was hearing us say that too." I was like, "Oh, you never really had a British accent." But it did kind of sound like it.
I think that's why my daughter's so spicy, is just because we've been calling her spicy her whole life. Like, and she's very spicy.
Yeah, dude, that's something my mom taught me is like with my when I was younger and I was the cool uncle to like my nieces and nephews. Yeah. Like I remember one of my sister-in-laws would be like joking around, me like, "Oh no, we don't like Isaac" or something, you know. And then my mom, if you tell them that, they're not gonna like like just teasing me, But yeah, if you're like, "Oh, we love Isaac," and same thing with like Miles now and my sister Annie, like he has his favorites and stuff, and she's starting to become more of his favorite because whenever we're like, "Oh yeah, it's Annie, we love Annie," and so you gotta, you're definitely molding the mind how you want to, which is scary.
Yeah. With Isla, there's a bunch of things that I'm like, she definitely got that for me, and I definitely did not want her to get that for me.
Right? Dude, it's so fun having kids, though.
And then when my wife will call me out on it, I'll be like, I'm just...
My bad.
Just being me.
Yeah, I remember popping the curb one time, and a 4-letter word came out of Brody's mouth from his car seat. And I was just like, yeah, it was right on cue. As long
as they're using it right,
Yeah. It's like good placement, bro.
My brother always says, if someone's gonna teach my kids how to cuss, it might as well be me.
Yeah. Anytime someone's coming up, like they're tattling about potty talk, I'm like, was he trying to make you laugh? Okay, then let it go. It's fine. Like that's my rule of thumb. If you're gonna make someone laugh, I don't know.
Oh, what did Avery? Shaylee, that's the other thing is I have such a bad memory. Avery was, oh my gosh, Avery was in the back of the car, so Shaylee could just hear her talking to another one of our nieces, and they were talking about a car, and I can't remember what exactly happened, but it was someone had a cool car, and she was like, "Yeah, that's my aunt's car. She's a bad bitch." And she was like, "What?" But because I think what it is there's a car in town that has that on the back of their and so she sees that, and anyways, they're funny, listening to everything, dude.
They hear it all.
I was driving to work this morning, and Isla's been watching this K-pop movie on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked me to turn on the song from this movie. Sang every single word, and I don't think all of it's in English either.
Yeah.
She sang every word.
She's gonna have like a Korean accent.
So are your kids girls or boys?
Brody's a boy.
And he's the youngest.
He's the oldest.
Oh, he's the
and
oldest.
Then we have Millie, who's 5, and then Keely, girl. So yeah.
Do your with your older ones? Do they like get fixated on a certain song ever?
So they they had their like go-to movies, but
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm like introducing them to music. They've been listening to like normal music their whole life. Like it's never like the Kids Bop stuff. Callie, my sister Callie, who's got 19 kids, had my kids the other day and was listening to
I
like
thought she had like 22.
Yeah,
Wait, what? How many does she have?
she's got 9, I think.
Okay, so
But-
you weren't exaggerating
Yeah,
too
she's got
much.
8 or 9, can't remember, but
Holy cow, I didn't know that.
my kids were with her one day and they were listening to the Kids Bop, which is the kid version of every pop song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Millie. She's just like, can you put the real version on, please? Like, she just hated this. So they have like their go-to songs right now that I've like, showed them, and I'm like, dude, check this out. And they're always like throwbacks to the ones that I listened to, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, so playlist.
Miles right now loves Chicken Banana.
Oh, really?
Have you heard that? I'm not gonna sing it. It's just like a YouTube video. It's not even really a song, but if you look it up, it's fun. And he loves that. But the big one that my girls liked, and it's been a little bit now, but is the Pink Pony Club.
Oh, dude.
They freaking
That one's
loved
good.
it,
I'm a
dude.
huge
Or
chaperone.
my
I-
kids like the
Yep, that one
that's
too.
another one that's on rotation.
Yeah.
But
I made the mistake of showing Emery and Avery. I was just wanting to be fun and have a good time with them, and we're driving down the road. So I was like, I rolled down the windows and just blasted "Insane in the Membrane."
Oh, yeah.
And Emery loved it.
Yeah.
So now she's always like, "Hey, put on Insane in the Brain." I was like, "Ah."
Yeah. I took Brody, and he's got like 4 of his friends. Our friends up in the valley that we hang out a lot with are from Thatcher and Safford, and so it's fun that all of our kids.
Who is it?
Joey Elkins, Shannon Bingham.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I think I know some of the Elkinses, but Joey, yeah.
Yeah, and then so they've got some kids, my kids' age, and so they all hang out together. But I take them all to kindergarten together. Like every day, I was doing the pickup, and so I slowly started introducing like all these songs to these kids that weren't mine too. They're all clean, you know. But I introduced them one time to "Down with the Sickness." And I
Nice.
got a whole like car full of kindergartners just to do the
Oh,
you know.
that's hilarious.
So like it was just a request. Every time I picked the last kid up, they're like, "Play the song," you know.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. So I introduced them to some normal music.
Do you guys ever have any hopes to move back to town?
I don't know. I mean, it was a thought. Like we were entertaining that thought when I was working remote as a loan officer, and I was like, yeah, I would love to work from home and Thatcher be home because we liked it, but we just love where we're at up in Mesa. You know, there's so much to do. I need my In-N-Out burger. You know, I've got to live within 15 minutes of an In-N-Out at all times.
Makes
from
sense,
now
dude.
on, you know,
Yeah, I
so-
get that.
But we would love to. But I mean, we just love where we're at. Right
Yeah.
now, and with the business being up there too, it's
Yeah.
Right.
more opportunity, and
I remember Trent and Emily when they were in
that's
Texas
true.
said never would they ever move back here.
Yep. Now
Dude,
we got a nice little setup.
I was so happy when he told me he was moving back. Do you know how often I hang out with Trent?
You guys
I
are
literally-
next door neighbors.
Dude, we live closer together now than we did when we were growing up. And I mean, you know, we're friends and everything, but we just don't hang out. Like,
You guys need to start doing guys' nights like once a month.
dude, we need to start having a poker night.
It's so
Yeah.
easy. I mean, I threw out one time I tried to start like a little men's group up in the valley, and it's just a lot of people from Thatcher that were up there, and I called it a meetup, and we just went out to the desert, brought some fire. Everybody just brought some steak, and we just cooked it over the fire for
Great idea.
Good
3
idea,
hours. We
dude.
were out there till like
Sounds so
1 in the
great.
morning, just a bunch of dudes complaining
dudes.
about their wives, you know,
All right.
kids and job. No, just kidding.
This is going to be the
But-
start of our next. Our
That'd be so easy. You guys have like a good turnout just once a month.
Well,
like-
there's so many people that still live here that we freaking grew up with that I don't ever see, or I see, but I
Yeah.
just don't hang out with.
Yeah,
You're
it was-
inspiring me right now.
Yeah,
dude.
it was cool to see because I like one of the guys that I brought, and then there was a friend of another friend that came, and they hadn't seen each other since high school, and they like hit it off, and like I don't know, it was just cool to see like people make connections and stuff.
That's awesome.
I need to facilitate that more. But
Dude, there's people that still live here that I don't even realize live here.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't. I
We got
drive.
someone's business card the other day, and we're like, "Oh, you are here doing business?"
Yeah.
you're back? Like I never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's because you get into your own little, routine, and
Yeah.
I drive the same way to work every day.
Exactly.
Like I don't deviate from what I do, and so if people don't cross that path, then it's like they live in different cities altogether. So
Yeah.
that's a good idea to do like once a night.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Just
Once a
first
night.
Saturday or something. Last Saturday. I don't know. Something easy.
It's a good idea.
One more thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah. Fire away.
I heard that you had done some stand-up comedy.
I did.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't hear that.
Can you tell us about that and tell us what the future of?
That would be like I would love to get paid to tell jokes. Could you imagine anything better than that? Like
That is the best career.
Okay,
To-
yes and no, because also gotta be one of the scariest
Yes.
things ever.
So
Like I would never do it. I would
Yeah.
never. No, I won't say never, but I would.
Here's what you mean. You would never go through the first part of it because of, like if you could put yourself into the success at the end, that's how I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like the failure at the front, like that's my nightmare.
Mortifying, yeah.
Of
Yeah.
standing on a stage, telling a joke, and people just staring at you.
People just
'cause,
staring
like-
at you
yeah.
and it not landing.
because
at
think
all.
about it, it's like you go up there and you're literally there to be funny, and if you're not funny, like the people there don't think much about it. They won't be. Some might be like, "Oh, this guy sucks," whatever. But the next person's gonna come on. They're gonna forget all about you. But it's like how you feel inside. You're like, crap. Like
Yeah.
I want to go home and cry.
Yeah.
But no. So my buddy Matt Hancock, he's been super into it lately, and for a while, him and I were talking about like starting a podcast together, and we had just been sending each other like concepts of jokes and stuff back and forth, to where we were like coming up with some material. And he was always messaging me like, is there any open mics up there? And I would go on a schedule and I would look around. I'm like, there's so many open mic, like places to do open mics here in the valley. Like Matt's sitting in Thatcher where there's like no opportunity.
He's creating all that.
He wants it. And then I'm up here like kind of skittish and scared, but I have so much opportunity. And so I think the first night he did the bullpen, or I don't know where it was, but he basically said, I did it, and I was just like, dude, if he did it, I have to do it. And so I was like, I can't just share all these jokes back and forth, talk this big game and just not do it. So the night that he did it, I remember coming home from work, and it was Thursday night at a comedy club that's like 10, 15 minutes down the street. I was like, dude, I got to do it. And so I just went up, bombed for like 5 minutes, and then just got done. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I got some work to do,
How many? Let me ask you this: how many people were in the crowd?
Okay, so how the open mics work in the valley is, the comics that people pay to see, those shows go from like 7 to 9 o'clock. Like there's a 7 to 8 and then 8 to 9 where the crowd that's there, they paid to be there, they want to laugh. And then they'll start an open mic right at 9 o'clock. And so as that last show ends, the owner will get up and be like, hey, everybody, now we're going to do some open mic. Like, none of these guys are vetted. I have no idea what they're going to say, but please just stick around just so that there at least is a crowd so they can, like, practice. And then all the other comics that are there. So you basically just have your name down, and it's like a list. They'll let you go to the shows for free just so you're a body in the room.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you sit through the 2 shows, you'll be higher up on the list. So that way you can work on material where there's actually a crowd. And then people will trickle away as, like, more open micers get up. And I was the last person. And so there was me, and then there were like the owner in the back, the bartender, and then like 2 other dudes, and one of them probably worked there. That was just sitting there, and so I was just like,
okay.
I feel like you can't even say you bombed.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can't call that a bomb.
And so I just had this thought. I was like, I could actually use that to be like in a benefit for me. I could just go up and just get reps in, you know, and then eventually work towards something. But it was also like right when I started Breezy too. And so I'm like, what's going to pay my bills right now? Oh, okay. I might as well focus on building this business up a little bit before I can venture out into comedy. But I get my creative and comedy like release from like posting and stuff online. There's so much. I have a folder in my phone that I just want to do all these videos and content ideas and that I need to get around to doing.
And I don't know if like the comedy that I see from Derek is, like I said, top 5 follows on Instagram. Yeah. I don't know if that always translates to stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
But I encourage you to keep doing stand-up comedy because you're one of the funniest guys I know.
Yeah, and it's and I feel weird saying this, but I think I'm one of the funniest people I've known, right? And so, but it's hard to stand up in front of people and like to craft a joke to be funny. Like I think I'm pretty witty. I'm quick-witted in conversations and stuff and whatnot in groups, but to sit up and craft a joke with a punchline, like it's a whole different skill. Like it takes so much work.
Being funny naturally comes to a lot of people, but that's not always gonna translate to manufacturing the comedy in front of people. That's where it's hard, and that's where I think the best comedians are the ones that make it feel natural. Like Theo Von, dude, like he's by far my favorite because he's just funny to listen to talk. You know what I mean?
His brain, you're like, dude, how did he come up with that? Like,
he's all over the place. Yeah,
he's hilarious.
That's my thought too. Is like this guy's brain is totally different.
And I mean, I love putting myself in funny situations just to kind of like come up. It helps with material, you know. Like the other day, I was bored. I was in between jobs, and I was right by.
Keep going.
And I was right by this sex shop. And I was like, I'm just going to go in and just take a gander, you know. It was called The Castle off the I-17. It's literally built like a castle. You walk in there and like the youngest worker there was probably like 56. and you just see like these old middle-aged white guys working. He's like, what brings you in? I'm like, I'm not telling you what brought me in here. Like, okay, well, sounds good. Let me know if you need anything. And then you see like others like picking up objects and like showing. I'm like, dude, what? I'm like, there's so much material. If I stayed 30 more minutes in here, like I could come up with some pretty good jokes. You know,
it's like a pretty convenient excuse to walk into a sex shop.
Like, just in between jobs,
Sonora, I'm working on my comedy.
Yeah, this sounds like Sonora.
Babe, I'm getting material.
And she's like, "What are you doing in this
comedy?"
The dude's like, "Why is your shirt inside out? They don't want me to see the company logo."
Derek, why are you
We got another wanderer in
Why are
here.
you at the castle? Why do you know where I'm at? Yeah. How do you know what it's called?
At the castle again?
That's hilarious.
Your next job's in Gilbert. Way south.
Between jobs, you drove 2 hours to get
You're an hour
there.
late for your 4 o'clock. What are you doing?
Between jobs.
So funny, dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. So, all right, back to Breezy.
Yeah.
Before we ended up, if obviously in Thatcher, you probably have to kind of pull your jobs together to make sure it's coming down here.
That's what's nice about your job, though, is that you can do. It's like there's never really an emergency that you have, right?
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
I
was just gonna say, how do people get a hold of you? How do they book you? What do they need to do?
They can follow me on Instagram, Breezy Duct Cleaning. I've got a
Comedy Derek.
Yeah, and Comedy Derek C. Periods in between the letters. Or the words.
Courtney will share all that.
Yeah, and then there's forms on my Breezy page where you can fill out a form. We do dryer vent cleanings, which is usually recommended once a year, prevent fire, and we also do like odor elimination, duct cleaning services. So yeah, if I get a big, just a decent people, I could come down for a week and just knock some people out.
Okay,
knock some ducks out.
Buying a house right now.
Nice.
Lots of animals in the house.
He could use your service.
Yeah.
As soon as you said odor elimination, I'm like, oh,
geez. Yeah, you probably need a good fogging treatment.
Dude, he needs new walls.
Yeah, dude. Yeesh. Was the last owners like renters?
No.
No. Dang.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. But yeah.
Cool. Just call you up and
Yeah, hit us up. I got my wife working for me now, so we're a little bit more organized.
Sweet.
So
just cracking that whip, huh?
Yep.
Yep.
Putting you in shape.
Awesome. Shout out to Sonora.
Yep. Thanks, babe.
Cool, man. Well, appreciate your time. Have a happy 24th celebration tomorrow, and
Glad we made it happen.
yeah,
Pioneer Day, Stevie.
Pioneer Days. Yep. Cool, man. That was fun.
Say these things in Jesus Christ.
Like Gucci.